Hey guys, Jen Sharp here of ALP Cycles Coaching. I'm going to lead you through a little restorative practice today. Um, Restorative yoga is definitely a needed thing these days, and that it really taps into our parasympathetic nervous system and really allows us to kind of chill out. So, which is hard to do when you're a cyclist and you're pushing your body a lot. So, I hope you find some of these moves beneficial to you. We're going to take probably about 20 to 30 minutes to do this practice. And it's short and sweet, but it's very meaningful. And it just means that you're able to give yourself a little compassion and a little self love. So, hope you enjoy it. Before we get super started, though, I would like to make sure that you have a few props. So, things that I recommend grabbing are a couple of pillows, a couple of blankets. If you have any blocks, yoga blocks, then I recommend grabbing those. But if not, maybe if you have some old Encyclopedia Britannicas laying around, this would give them a great use, a second life, third life. Yeah, so go ahead and put me on pause and go grab your props, and I'll meet you back here on the mat in a seated position. Great, so you've grabbed your props. Awesome. So from a seated position, what I like to actually do is prop myself up onto something that's a little higher because obviously when I'm sitting here, my one knee is very tall. So just like to give myself some support. So I put a block down and then a blanket on top of it. And then I'm going to sit up on top of that. And then that allows, the knees to relax down. Good, and your hands can come onto your knees and you can close your eyes and go inside. You can hopefully hear my nice wind chimes because I'm outside on the patio. Oh yeah, it's that time of year. Good. We're going to start syncing up our breath a little bit. So inhale, fill your belly up. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale your belly and your chest. Let them expand. Exhale, let it go. Inhale your belly, chest, maybe your throat, the crown of your head. Exhale, let it go. Good. Continue breathing where you're really feeling into your belly, feeling all of your ribs expand at 360 degrees. And then when you exhale, you let it all go. And we're going to sync up our breaths and count to the count of 4. Good. On an inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Gently flutter your eyes open. Take your arms down by your sides, and on an inhale, palms press. And on an exhale, hands down through heart center. I want you to take this moment now and maybe you dedicate your practice to someone or something, or maybe you set an intention for the day. This is your time. Good. And on an inhale, bring your arms out and up, palms press. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Bowing your head. Good. Great. So we're going to come into our first posture. It's called Supta Baddha Konasana. For those that don't know yoga terms, just ignore what I just said. But basically, it's a supported pose. So if you have your books or your blocks, go ahead and put one on the low height and then one on the medium height. And then go grab that big, huge pillow you grabbed. I grabbed this off my bed. I don't have a bolster. That's okay. And you're going to place it so that you have a nice little support there. And then I'm also going to grab my blanket. I'm going to put it underneath where my hips are going to go. Great. And then I'm going to scooch my bum down to right behind where the pillow is, part of my reach. And I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together. Knees are wide. And if this is uncomfortable for you, if you find that it's a little too much on your inner groin area, you can grab some more props, like either a towel, a nice rolled up towel can be a support, or if you have more pillows, you can use those pillows to prop yourself up. Just want to make sure that you're really supported and comfortable in this position. And then using your hands to gently walk yourself back, go ahead and relax back into a nice lying down pose. Your hands can be open towards the ceiling. They can be one hand in your chest, one hand on your stomach. They can be on your hips, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then go ahead and close your eyes and go inside. If you're a little chilled in your room, you might want to grab another blanket if you have one accessible and cover yourself with it. Just notice the body, notice any sensations you may have and that you can let go of. If you have any parts of your body that are a little sticky or stuck, just breathe into them. And my apologies if you hear my little dog barking. A nice thing about restorative is that we just take the time to get quiet. If thoughts come into your head, just notice them. Try not to fixate on them, just let them go. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. Another deep breath in. Side out. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe do some circles with your wrists, feet. Gently roll over onto one side, being careful when you come off your little pillows. And using your arm as support for your head. Pause here on your side, keeping your eyes closed. Good, and using your hands to support you, push yourself up to a seated posture. And just pause here for a moment. Good. Now we're going to transition into another posture. So go ahead and move your big pillow off to the side. Move your blocks off your mat or out of your space. And what we're going to do now is come into a laying down supported bridge. So if you have a blanket or a pillow, I want you to grab it and keep it off to the side. We're going to roll down onto our backs, keeping our knees bent towards the ceiling. Go ahead and grab that blanket or pillow and gently press into your feet, lifting your hips towards the ceiling, placing that blanket underneath, and gently laying your hips back down. We want your blanket or your pillow to be directly underneath your lower back and your sacrum. And your hands can be out by your sides. You close your eyes again. Maybe your hands are, got a hand on your chest, maybe one on your stomach. If your legs are, you find that you're struggling to keep them upright, then maybe you toe heel your feet out wide as your mat, and then let your knees knock in together. And then maybe if your arms don't feel quite right on the stomach and on the chest, maybe you inhale and bring them overhead. And just let them rest overhead. Again, closing your eyes. Breathing into any sensations you may have in your body. And just letting go. Gently welcome the breath back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. If your feet are wide, go ahead and toe heel them closer together. And if your arms are overhead, awesome. If not, go ahead and take a big stretch. And then gently roll over onto your side, using your arm to support your head again. Pause here for a moment. And then using your arms to support you, press yourself up to a seated position. Good. The next posture we're going to go into is a wide-legged, supported posture. So you can leave your blanket or your pillow or whatever you're using underneath your back in the last posture there. I'm going to bring my legs nice and wide. If you already know that you're going to have a little bit of hip discomfort, knee discomfort, then you might want to grab a blanket or something to put underneath your knees. And then I'm grabbing my big, huge pillow, and I'm going to put it at about a 45-degree angle. And then gently leaning forward into that pillow. So that way, when I lean forward, I can be fully supported. Your hands can either be kind of onto the outside of your legs, or if you'd rather have them on the inside of your thighs, that's fine. You want your feet comfortably just sitting there, not pointed, but not flexed. Just relaxing into this pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Gently walk your hands back up. Move your big pillow and just pause for a moment as you sit upright. Good stuff. We're going to go ahead and move our big pillow or bolster off to the side. We're going to move our blanket out from underneath us. And then go ahead and come onto your back. You want your knees up towards the ceiling, your feet planted on the floor. And from here, go ahead and bring your right ankle onto your left knee. Now, if you find this is enough for you and your hips are feeling like this is plenty, stay here. Feel like you could get a little more sensation out of this. You can use your right hand to push that right knee out a little bit more. Or if you need a little bit more sensation, then you can clasp your hands back behind your left hamstring, and then maybe use your right elbow to push your right knee out. You want that left leg, the foot, to be relaxed. Again, this is a passive, should be somewhat passive posture. Don't forget to close your eyes. One thing I find that helps me if my mind is wandering is just to count my breath. And if I find that I lose count, then I just start over. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Good. If your hands are clasped back behind that left hamstring, go ahead and release that foot back down to the ground. And from here, we're going to do a little supine twist. So bringing your arms out into a T, palms facing towards the ceiling. Go ahead and rock your legs over to your left. And if you find that this is really uncomfortable and you might need some height, then you could take a blanket or a pillow or something and prop it underneath that right foot. And maybe if it's comfortable for you, you can look over your right shoulder and turn your head towards your right shoulder and close your eyes. Don't forget to count your breath. Inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Good. Gently bring your head back to center. Bring your knees back in through midline. Release both legs out just for a moment to hit the reset button. Good, and you can keep your arms out in a T as you bend into your knees again, planting your feet into the ground. And this time bringing your left ankle onto your right knee. Just pause here for a moment. If you find that that's enough sensation in your hip, stay here. If you'd like a little bit more and you found that pressing into that left knee, the cross knee, then go ahead and do that. Or if you found that you really liked grabbing back behind that hamstring, go ahead and interlace your fingers back behind the right thigh. And let that right foot relax. Soften through your shoulders. Soften through your jaw. Close your eyes and count your breath. If you take a deep breath in, exhale through the mouth. If you have clasped your fingers back behind your right thigh, go ahead and release your fingers in your grip and release your foot down to the ground. And uncross your legs. Let your legs go wide, taking a moment here and pausing. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I forgot to go into that side twist. Go ahead and bend your knees again, crossing your left ankle onto your right knee, bringing your arms out into a T, maybe scooching over if you need to, and then gently let your legs drop over to your right side. And if you find that that left leg can't reach the ground, then maybe giving it some support of a blanket or a pillow. Palms are facing towards the ceiling, and maybe you look over your left shoulder and then close your eyes. And maybe this side feels different than the other. Just notice. See if you can breathe in into any tight sensations in the body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Roll your head back through center. Bring your knees back up. And then go ahead and bring round into your knees towards your chest, giving yourself a nice little hug. And maybe rocking from side to side on your lower lumbars. Good. Release your feet back down to the ground. Now we're going to come into our final pose. So rolling over to one side and using your arms to support you. Press yourself back up. Typically you would go into Shavasana right away, but I'd actually like you to take a moment and give yourself some support here. So grabbing a big pillow or bolster that you have, we're going to place that underneath our knees. And then if you have an additional pillow or blanket, I would like you to take that and put it underneath where your head will rest. And if you have a warm blanket, go ahead and grab it. And this is going to go over you so you can fully relax into this posture. So again, my knees are bent. I've got some nice support there. Cover myself up with my blanket. Lay myself back down, releasing your arms out to the sides, getting any wiggles out you might need in order to fully rest into Shavasana. Closing your eyes, fully relaxing, melting into the earth. Gently welcome the breath back into your body. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. On an inhale, stretch your arms overhead, giving yourself a awakening stretch. Bending into your knees. Rock over onto your side, using your arm as support for your head. Keeping your eyes closed and pausing here for a moment. Good, and using your hands to support you, push yourself up into a seated posture. Sit up nice and tall. Hands can come to heart center. Eyes still closed. Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may my thoughts, words, and actions contribute in some way to that freedom and happiness for all. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat. We bow our heads, acknowledging the lights in each of us as we say Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time, giving yourself a little love, a little restorative yoga. I hope you enjoyed this. We have other yoga videos if you're interested that are a little more action-packed, so feel free to check those out. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.